But what is the difference between a VR game and a full VR game? So,
I mean,
yeah.
yeah, I think it depends on the like the immersion. There's
Mm-hmm.
VR games out there that were just ported,
Mm-hmm.
and I also want to put a point there from what you mentioned earlier. And then for a full immersion, a full VR game, it uses a lot of haptics. There's a lot of senses.
Mm-hmm.
You can climb walls, you can scale things. But there's also just VR game that you kind of question: does it have to be in VR?
Yeah.
Right? You can have the same experience in the flat screen, and I think that's just the way it is, but by design, right? But full immersion using a lot of the immersion and the features from a hardware, I think that's pretty much a full VR
Yeah.
game. And then to
Okay.
your point, Marcella,
Yeah.
you mentioned about other industries and that experience about giving birth. I actually saw this like a few weeks ago, a few months ago.
Mm-hmm.
There was one where a woman lost her daughter,
Oh.
and this VR company, what they did was they put her daughter into this VR. It's not really a game, but it's like more experience,
Mm-hmm.
right? So she put this VR headset, and she was able to, see her daughter for one last time. She actually wasn't
Crazy.
there at her death, right?
Yeah.
But the catharsis of that, right? So getting kind of like the closure,
Yeah.
and you being in touch with a loved one.
Yeah.
I think there's a lot more stuff that VR can be applied to. Another one actually that like we're kind of looking at and thinking about, especially when COVID happened, there's a lot of lost revenue for travel and tourism.
Mm-hmm.
So one example is like museums. Not a lot of people, there's museums out there. Of course, they have to pay their upkeep and real estate
Mm-hmm.
and what have you. But museums could be another thing for another layer for VR. Right?
Yeah.
Imagine you don't have to pay a plane ticket to go to the Louvre. You can have that experience and maybe much more in depth in VR. So
Mm-hmm.
there's a lot more applications to VR than just like gaming, and I think that's where it's going to head to, right? So when the App Store, or sorry, the VR store, or
Mm-hmm.
what would have the Meta Store, the Quest Store, um, provides content outside of just gaming, which is what the App Store did for iPhone,
Mm-hmm.
and there's a lot of applications, then we're confident that this market just going to upshoot and accelerate.
Yeah. Well, it will grow and grow and grow, and that's the thing. Like, if you see how quick everything is already going in these couple of years, it will definitely grow even faster in the next couple of years.